welcome to my channel, Brews and Books. My name is Camille and we're going to be talking about the newbie book tag. So let's get right into it. Let me preface this. I am reading off my iPad, so bear with me. Okay, so question number one. Why did you start this channel? So my biggest reason for starting this channel is to start making friends, to start talking about books, talking about the books that I read, and just really being able to connect with other people on, what they're currently reading, what I'm currently reading, and then just kind of picking people's brains, and honestly, biggest thing, just to make friends and to talk about books. So that is like as clear and cut as it's gonna get. Question number two, what are some fun and unique things you can bring to Booktube? My main fun thing that I want to bring to Booktube is talking about craft beer. So it's one of my big hobbies to go to different breweries wherever I'm living or wherever I travel to. So I've been to a few here in the United States, and so I haven't really ventured out into Europe because I've never been out into Europe or anywhere else for that matter. But I've got a couple of good breweries that I've been to just in the States so far, and I really want to have the chance to talk about brews as well as books. And then another thing that I think I can bring to the table is the chance to bring another diverse person into the Booktube community. It has been growing. I've seen it. I am on Twitter, and so seeing all the booktubers that are on there who are a person of color, it's been really, really exciting because it's very hard to find other booktubers who look like you sometimes. So I'm very excited to be able to bring that to the table, and that's something that I'm really, really looking forward to. So question number three, what are you most excited about for this new channel? So of course I'm very excited about the new friends and the being able to connect with the viewers as well as the booktubers. I think my biggest exciting thing that I'm looking forward to is having the opportunity to read a lot more and kind of find a way to condense. Maybe condense isn't the right word, but finding a way to really hone in on what I like to read specifically. And in one of these next questions, we'll get into what I like to read specifically. And you'll know why I am not answering the question now. Boom. But definitely being able to make friends, starting conversation with other booktubers and viewers, super, super exciting to me, as well as being able to have the chance to broaden my reading horizons as well as kind of narrow down on some things. Question number 4. What do you love reading? So I am a big, big fiction fan. I don't have a particular subgenre that I like to read, but I have semi-narrowed it down to mystery thriller, YA. I do like a lot of poems. I tend to find those very, very intriguing and fun. I also like to read a lot of anthologies. They're probably one of my top things to read. And I'll sometimes read, what are they called? So I have a very hard time distinguishing between an autobiography, a biography. I think there's one more, maybe 2 more, but I have a hard time distinguishing them because I'm well, who's writing it? And I think that's where I get stuck at. So I like reading one of those. The author is talking about themselves. Those are the books I like. Specifically, Amy Poehler's Yes Please. That one's my favorite one, and the only one that I've read so far. So, there we have it. Fiction, autobiographies. There we have it, folks. Question number 5. What books or series got you into reading? So this is a very loaded question. So I started reading really in middle school. Any books then, you know, I liked Bunnicula. I liked anything Judy Blume. I liked Magic Treehouse. You know, you were kind of required to read them. The teachers always had them on the bookshelf. That was fun stuff to read. Come high school, it was definitely Twilight. Shout out to Chandler. Twilight was definitely the book that got me back into reading, and I enjoyed it so much. Me and my mom actually had a race to see who could finish the books faster, and I'm pretty sure I won. I can't remember if I won or not, but I'm pretty sure I did. But we would sit in different rooms, and when something interesting happened, we'd scream. We'd try to figure out where they were, what page they were on. Fun times. Let's go back to high school, yo. And then college, I really did not read a lot, because college, you're trying to avoid reading your textbooks, but you don't have time to read for pleasure. That's just how it is. I went to school full-time and worked 2 jobs throughout college, so I definitely did not have time. And I also have a little puppers, so I stayed very, 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 very busy. Now that I'm out of college, I read a lot. Last year was probably the year where I was just like, I'm determined to read. I'm determined to read a lot. And so I read 37 books. Very good. Question number 6. What questions would you ask your favorite booktuber? This is hard. Only because, actually, scratch that, I'm a liar. It's not that hard. I would actually really ask booktubers, my favorite ones, how they got around to staying consistent in the sense of keeping booktube alive, and, you know, how they got through, you know, constructive criticism, how they process things, you know, what they did for finding the right elements in terms of filming, and the right elements for when they were going to post, you know, setting a set schedule. How do they do it? What are their, you know, advantages, disadvantages of the whole thing? So I would ask them more technical questions in that sense, because I am a technical kind of person. I like to know pros and cons of what's going to happen, and kind of base how I do things that way. That's my big thing, asking them the technical question. Question number 7. What challenges do you think starting a booktube channel will be the hardest to overcome? Hardest to overcome is finding the time to film, finding the time to edit. I'm not that busy, but as a big girl in the big world with a big girl job, time can be kind of limited. But finding the time to, and the consistency to say, hey, I'm gonna film today and I'm going to upload, you know, on whatever day, as well as just kind of keeping positive through the flow of, you know, the amount of views, the amount of subscribers, the nuances and the technical parts of it. That's probably going to be my hardest part about it, and try to really figure out where I fit into that spectrum. Question number 8. When did you start reading? So I can only assume that my mom read to me in the womb, so I'm going to say I've been reading since I was in the womb. But on a real note, I really started reading. There's no real good answer to this. Like, I read in middle school. I read in high school. I read after college. So I've been a reader all my life. Just now I have a little bit more time to read and to enjoy reading. We'll just go with after college. Let's keep it simple. Question number 9. Where do you read? So I read everywhere, but particularly I enjoy staying home and reading. I like to put reading in my self-care regimen. So whenever I decide to draw me out a long bath with lots of bubbles, I will pull out my book tray that my sister-in-law got me for my birthday last year, and I like to put my book on there. Usually I'll have a glass of wine. If it's not wine, it's beer, craft beer. And I'll just sit, soak, and read. It's fun. And then a lot of the times I like to read in my bed. My bed is like my safe haven. I turn on my diffuser. It also has lights to it. So I'm in the element of relaxation and in the realm of enjoyment. So my bed, my tub. Sometimes I can read in chairs and stuff like that, but I prefer to read in those two areas. They just bring me a level of comfort that books also bring me. And then question number 10, the last question, what kind of books do you like to read? Damn it. So I answered this question in number 4, what I like to read. We're gonna like redo this. So number 10 is what kind of books do you like to read, which I answered for number 4. Number 4 is actually why do you love reading? We're gonna answer question number 4 as number 10. I love reading because it's always been a great way for me to escape, to enjoy a different plot than the plot that I live in. So reading someone else's story, whether real or fictional, it's always really, really nice to have that moment to just say, I'd like this, or that sounds terrible. I have always enjoyed taking that escape to enjoy someone else's plot. Yeah, that's it. That is my Booktube Newbie Tag. Please let me know down below what you thought about this video, what you think I can do differently, how do you feel about the lights, the shadows? Is it too loud? If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and definitely subscribe. I cannot wait to move forward in this Booktube community, and I cannot wait to talk to the many people out there. Let's be friends, let's talk books.